that's your live window.
Okay. And I just introduce. Oh, okay. Hello. Welcome back to COPD Navigator. I'm today's host, Emma. You may remember me from last week. Was it last week? And also like last week, we are in the other location, the living room. And today we're going to be doing another Fitness Friday for you. With chair yoga and other chair exercises for those who are
Who have some physical difficulties.
Who have some physical difficulties and may not be able to do the more strenuous dancing and such. Do I flip the camera around now?
So, band for a little bit more. We got some fun times. We got some guest stars. We're gonna have a good time.
We have some fun times ahead. We have some other guest stars today.
Like Ladderman.
It's gonna be fun.
So bear with us while we reconfigure.
So bear with us while we reconfigure.
And we'll be right back. Appreciate that, and welcome to all my friends out there in Navigator Nation. As Emma is so graciously our host announced, we have some special guest stars with us. Of course, taking center stage, as she often does, is Potato the cat, and she's very excited about chair yoga to the point where she does not want to be removed. So this is going to be interesting. We also have the boys. We have Joseph, Ladderman. That's what we're going with these days?
Ladderman.
All right. Mr. Grumbus. And we also have Thomas Alexander over on the left side there. So,
Ladderman.
Okay, Potato, I'm real sorry about this, but come on, man.
Tip the chair. She'll fall eventually.
Potato. Come on.
She yelled.
Screams.
We're not mishandling her.
Really,
She's just dramatic.
Yeah.
She's a drama queen.
Am I fitting in the frame? Okay.
She baby.
Can you see it on this computer at all?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay.
Sorry.
Can you see that?
Life's a little delayed.
Yes, that is something that is very difficult to learn with. So I'm trying to do kind of a social media broadcasting internship here while we're in the middle of quarantine, trying to teach the kids how to be productive members of society so that we can draft them and give them a good paying job, hopefully someday. So, but we've got a couple of things going on.
I can no longer see Joey. I can just see his head.
Is it because of the way I'm
the
sitting?
important part.
Yeah, because maybe scooch like a couple inches to the...
Take it back now, y'all.
Yeah, that's better.
All right. Live TV, always a fun gig. So what you should be able to see on the main feed is this is some videos that I found earlier today on YouTube. These are free videos that anybody can find. I looked up, I believe I searched for chair yoga, and then that was it. There's all kinds of chair stuff today. So we're going to be starting off with a little bit of chair yoga. We're going to do a little bit higher pace stuff with some chair aerobics. Still not going to be, it's not quite like the dance off from last week. And then we're going to wrap things up with a little bit of Tai Chi and then talk about our adventures today. So, first thing...
it's just your friend said she ordered the COPD.
Oh, that's right. Jeannie mentioning one of the things we've been doing a little bit more regularly, or at least if we can call it 2 weeks regularly, is harmonicas on Wednesday. So we've got some harmonicas for health going. You just trying to irritate Potato? Or sorry. All right. And harmonicas are a great piece of equipment to help with that control of the breathing, which is some of the stuff that we may be able to get into with the yoga and the Tai Chi and all that. And it's another great adjunct for that. So I'm glad to hear that starter kit's hopefully on its way. So a couple of things before we get started. Always important to remember that you should talk with a provider, your provider, whether it's a pulmonologist, primary care provider, whoever it is, before you start any exercise program. Again, most of this stuff is going to be low impact and low risk and all that sort of thing, but this is, of course, is not medical advice, and your providers and your practitioners know best for your individual case. So it's going to be important to get their approval and all that stuff as we move forward, or as you move forward into getting back to being fit. The other thing to remember is make sure you're not talking too long so that things time out. But also to make sure that you stay hydrated while you're doing this stuff. It's easy to kind of get wrapped up because all this stuff is just so exciting to do. You make sure that you get your hydration in and stay appropriately hydrated with, again, any restrictions that your provider might have.
Sorry, Tommy just has a cup of ice.
Yeah, well, to each their own. So, this first video, gentle chair yoga for about 10 minutes. Looks like the video is a touch longer than that, so there's probably a little bit of interstitial stuff. And we're going to get into it together.
I first met Gideon when he was 7 months old.
An ad.
This journey's really been a journey of
Thank
hope.
you, YouTube.
All right, so...
His body was full of...
So, this is from Toronto Rehab Brain and Spine stuff, and these are all the caveats that any responsible video is going to have on there. Again, if it's painful, don't do it. If it's uncomfortable, don't do it.
This gentle yoga sequence
If
will
it's
help
loud,
you
turn it
tap
down.
into your own inner capacity for healing and well-being by teaching you a series of movements that you can
All
do
right.
anytime. They
Yeah.
are designed to stretch and open areas of the body that facilitate a full breath. As you do these movements, can you
Showing off
create
my
the
quarantine
intention
15
of
here, I
moving
think.
the body with
Is
wisdom,
that what we're calling it these
listening
days?
to what feels right and safe
Like
for
the
you
freshman
in this
15?
moment?
Exactly.
Can you move with joy? Can you maintain a sense of gratitude, well-being, and peace throughout all the postures?
Just going to pause it for a second to highlight that. We talked a lot yesterday about the power of hope and optimism and things like that. And it's an important thing, even when you're doing these kind of exercises. Make sure that you're feeling that positive energy. I know sometimes it gets a little touchy-feely, granola-y, whatever. Not everybody likes to look at that. But I have seen it myself. The power of positive thinking, as they call it, really can make a big difference. So as you're thinking about these lower impact, lower intensity workouts, make sure that you're also kind of putting that positive intention into the universe.
Let's begin with the sound of the tingshaws. Sit in a tall and dignified position.
Tall, dignified
and take
position.
a moment now to feel your breath. Your breath, by supplying your body with oxygen, supports everything that you do. Every inhale and exhale is a healing act.
This feels like when
Place your hands on your belly. Notice what is happening as you breathe normally and naturally.
You may notice this is a lot like abdominal breathing that you may have learned at pulmonary rehab.
If I'm told to breathe, I breathe weirdly.
Many people do.
Place your hands
It's like the
on
breathing
your
you do
side
with the wind
ribs
instrument.
and notice how the rib cage moves with each breath.
And notice how everybody has a slightly different form here. It's okay to do what's comfortable for you.
Contract. Be patient. Have the idea that you can breathe wherever you place your hands.
You still doing okay over there?
Yeah. No new comment.
Now place a hand on your chest and notice how the chest moves with the breath.
Being mindful of your breathing. Can be a good time to integrate some pursed lip breathing.
Finally, rest your hands anywhere that is comfortable. Notice the full movement of the breath in and out of the body. See if you can breathe with a little less effort and tension. Now let's begin to move and stretch the body. If you do not wish to do some of the movements, you can always choose to breathe and visualize the movement instead.
Remember
Kara,
to do what's
Ronald,
comfortable
and
for
Sarah
you.
will be offering you different versions of each pose so you can pick what feels safe and comfortable for you today. Inhale. Stretch the front of the body by drawing your shoulders back to lift your chest and draw the spine into the body to slightly arch the back. Exhale, move into a back body stretch by drawing the chest and belly in to round the spine and stretch the back. Let each inhale and exhale begin the movement and draw you into the stretch. And feel the end of each breath complete the movement and deepen the stretch. Repeat for 5 cycles.
It's okay if you're not exactly on point here, but he's going to go at a slightly different rate.
Good, and release. Next, take your knees wide and lean forward in a seated position, only as far as is comfortable. And rest your arms on your thighs or dangle the arms down by the feet. Relax the head and neck and stay for 5 breaths. Feel the movement of breath in your back and in your belly. Slowly begin begin to round the spine and sit back up into a tall seated position. Let's do that again. Folding forward, relaxing the head and neck, and dangling the arms or resting your arms on your thighs. Breathing into your back and belly. Now pushing into the feet to come back up to a tall seated position.
It's a little more chill than the
Now,
Just
sitting up
Dance
tall,
Off.
Drop the right ear towards the same shoulder. Take your right hand and rest it on your left collarbone area. Feel the subtle movement of the breath under your hand. Stay for 5 breaths.
If anybody has any questions or anything, remember we're still open for business, even as we kind of meditate and get our chill on here.
Sides. Drop the left ear towards the same shoulder. Take your left hand and rest it on your right collarbone.
Oh man, I was doing this wrong.
Deep breaths into the stretch.
Big old Iceman.
That's an X-Men. Fun fact.
Good, and release. Now, clasp your hands in front of you. Begin to straighten your arms and press the palms away from you to spread the shoulder blades. Drop your chin towards your chest.
It's not
Feel free to
I'll
raise
make
the
it.
arms
You're
as
cracking
high
some
as
joints
the
here.
pelvis
That can be refreshing.
Feel the movement of the breath in your upper back.
He's a crunchy boy.
So
Staying for
notice that you
5
can go
breaths.
down if you like, or straight out. Again, what's comfortable for you.
And Potato it will be rejoining.
Potato, please don't do
us.
that. Oh, Potato.
Potato
Good,
almost
and
knocked
release.
over our tripod.
Sitting up tall at the front of your chair, gently roll your shoulders forward 5 times.
Nice and easy.
It was always one of our tennis stretches with shoulder rolls.
Good stretch. We did this in football too. I suspect it's a fairly common sports stretch because it
And
really
backwards 5 times.
Did this
does
in
a lot
gym.
of this stuff. And great for folks with COPD who are struggling to breathe all the time and tend to get real tense up here. I know I'm stepping out of the motion a little bit, but if you're getting tense, sometimes it does help to just kind of do this stretch and relax kind of deal.
In 5th grade, Miss Foss had us.
Well done.
Realign a lot of
Now,
that stuff.
sitting up tall,
Fingering.
tuck your chin
Did you
in
ever
slightly,
do the wave?
like a tortoise retracting into its shell. Draw the belly button in towards your spine and then begin to look up. You can place your hands on the seat behind you, interlace your fingers, or hook your arms around the back of the chair. Feel the opening through the area of the heart and between the collarbones.
I feel like I've been kidnapped.
Stay for
I already
5
forgot
breaths.
all the steps.
Yeah, I don't know what.
We're just looking up right now.
Gotta love some of that sweet ceiling action.
Still looking up.
Good, and release.
And back to normal.
Sit up tall at the front of your chair. Take your legs wider apart. Then lean to the right side, letting the spine and rib cage curve until you feel a stretch in your side body.
I should be.
Support yourself on your hand or elbow.
Make
If it
sure you're
feels
keeping
right
yourself
in your body,
braced if
raise
necessary,
the left
or
arm up
if you have a
and
little
over
ottoman
your
or
head
something, keep your
and stay
keep
for
your
5
balance.
breaths.
Looks like Hester's participating.
Wait, oh, arms? Okay. I can't see.
You don't know.
That is fair.
See, that's why we need a bigger TV.
No.
Well done.
Again, this arm stretch is not necessarily
Sitting up tall.
integral to the motion. You can see the one lady in the light shirt there is not really doing it. If you have a shoulder injury like my wife is working through right now, this may not be the appropriate activity. It might be a little too painful. That's okay.
And raise your right
This
arm
is
up
about
if you like.
stretching to your
And
capacity
breathe 5 breaths.
safely.
It's about getting the blood out of your arm.
That too.
Really?
Out of your arm?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't
It
think.
does kind of help the arm fall asleep a little bit. It can.
If you
Well
want to sleep
done.
faster,
Well
suspend
done.
yourself
Let's finish
upside
by
down.
coming to a comfortable
No.
seated
Alright, and
position.
our last set of maneuvers here, also known as the Picard maneuver.
Close your eyes and enjoy the sensation of your body
There's
moving.
your daily
as
trek
you
reference
breathe.
for anybody keeping score at home.
And the
As
next
you
one
inhale,
reference.
Feel the breath expand the lower belly, upper belly, rib cage, and chest. As you exhale, let the breath go without effort.
And kids need to do yoga.
Be patient
Everybody
with
should
each inhalation,
should at least be familiar with
and
some of the
keep
breath
inviting
and
the
stretching
breath in
techniques.
until you feel comfortably full and radiant with breath. You might
Band
even open
kids,
your mouth
skinny
and let
kids,
the
kids who
exhalation
climb on
be an
rocks.
easy, soft
Even kids with
sigh.
chickenpox.
This is a reference to something.
Have
10
the
points to
feeling
whoever
that you
gets
are
the even kids with
receiving
chickenpox
each breath
reference.
and welcoming it with an open heart,
Dodgeball.
keeping a soft smile on your face.
We just watched that movie. Well, we watched part of it.
I want to watch it. You know what I want to watch again? Balls of Fury.
Alright, let's stay relaxed for another couple minutes here.
Relax.
Fair enough. Relaxation looks different to different people.
Well done.
Thank you.
And a little bit of hydration.
Hydrate or
What,
dihydrate,
hydration?
baby.
Or else
Have you
what?
not seen that?
Opening your eyes
The hydrate or
and
dihydrate?
continuing your day.
Alright,
Ah, we're done.
so,
Thank
You
you
have
for
more
joining
yet
us.
to come.
Yeah.
yeah, that's round 1. We're about to go to level 2.
This pie tastes like broccoli.
It's watermelon flavored.
It tastes like broccoli.
I'm a little concerned because they do say that the first stage in COVID is you lose your sense of taste.
No, I'm
so
not.
It's not that I'm losing my sense of taste.
You've
It's
been
that
voted
it's
off
different.
the island.
Yeah.
Can I try it? I want to see if it tastes like. No, the bye. I know how to shake a hand.
Alright, So-
I mean, you have some joiners, but no new comments.
okay, that's cool.
So,
This is pretty low key, low intensity. I'm surprised no one's saying anything on either place though. A little bit surprised.
That's not good.
How many
Um,
viewers do we have?
Give me some. Give me a little bit of
Five.
feedback. I will.
I had
I-
someone that was gonna follow along with you today.
I've got Kelly was
That's me.
here. Someone named Denise McKinnon.
Mhm. Hi,
Bob
Denise.
Rife.
Yep.
R-I-F-E.
Bob's a longtime respiratory therapist.
John
Go Bob.
Shelburne.
John Shelburne from down around Mississippi, I believe.
And Susan Fox.
Hi,
and
Susan.
then no one from the other places. This is just from Facebook.
All right. Well,
Now,
like I
these are
said,
people you can invite.
we are doing some yoga exercises and that sort of thing. So if you,
A lady named Rochelle Satter.
Rochelle from my Masters in Public Health cohort from up in Grand Rapids. How you doing today, Rochelle? Public health having a moment, and this hopefully will be part of telepublic health. But in any event, so that was the basics of chair yoga. You know, again, low intensity. This can be a really nice thing to start a workout. It was 10 minutes. You can do it seated in your chair. You don't have to put a lot of balance or anything like that into it, and you can adapt the exercises to what you need for your own personal situation.
Maria Bast says she enjoyed it and will try to work it in every day.
Excellent, excellent. That's great to hear. You know, again, we talk about having intentional activity for a certain number of minutes throughout the course of a day or a week or what have you, but any little bit is going to help. When we clinicians talk about exercise, we usually say it in a way that makes people think they got to get on the treadmill or the bike, or they've got to go for a jog or what have you, or they got to get the weights out. Excuse me. This is activity. This is intentional activity. This is going to give you the thermogenesis, non-exercise associated thermogenesis, or NEAT. That's a concept I learned from my wife, who is just off stage here. It's going to help you burn calories more appropriately. It's going to help your system work a little bit better, and it's going to make you feel a little bit healthier, hopefully. So we are going to step it up a notch. This one is only 7 minutes long.
We have a question.
We have a question. All right.
Jean Nelson asked if you could talk about the relationship between hiatal hernias, silent GERD, and pneumonia or bronchiectasis.
Yes. All right. So that's a great question. Silent GERD is a phenomenon where your stomach fluid, that acid, comes up, and a lot of people think of it as heartburn. That's not silent GERD. That's just GERD. A lot of times that may not happen while you're awake, because you're generally upright and doing stuff and everything is fine. But when you go to bed and you're flat, it's a lot easier for stuff to kind of bubble up and then get down into your trachea, from your esophagus into your trachea, your windpipe, and then down into your airways. And that, as you might expect, is kind of an irritant.
Is that like when you choke on it? Because I've had that happen.
Yes, but when you're asleep.
Well, I've woken up choking on stomach acid.
It's arguably less silent because you become aware of it, but yeah, it's same kind of concept.
Okay.
And if that happens long enough, then you start getting inflammation and irritation all the way up and down through your large airways and even potentially down into your smaller airways. That inflammation then leads to a lot of the hallmark signs that we look at with extra mucus production, extra phlegm, coughing up a lot of extra phlegm, because that's your body's response to handle a lot of that stuff, is to kind of help irritate, or not to help irritate, but to remove the irritation by helping lubricate and helping to protect against some of that stomach acid. That in turn can lead to infection, which is your pneumonia. And if you get infections a lot, you may lose some of that tissue structure in those airways, and you get the little pockets where your airways get floppy, and chronic infection, which is bronchiectasis. So all of those things going on. Just watch her so that she doesn't knock the water down there. So there is not necessarily an always 100% causal link between these things, but this is one of those things, whenever I talk to somebody about sleeping issues and things like that, or if they were not able to manage their symptoms very well, especially if they have stuff in the morning, it's routine for me to ask about how their sleep is, and their stomach issues. Do you have heartburn? Do you have these issues? Does it feel better if you sleep propped up on a pillow? Because all of these things together can be signs that you have a GERD issue that needs to be addressed, even if you don't necessarily know it while you're awake. So great question. Keep them coming. Happy to answer some more as we get on here. Let's go ahead and jump into this next video before the screen times out on us again. We got
Jamie says hi.
Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie and Mike. That phrase, NEAT, non-exercise activity of thermogenesis. And what's cool is a lot of us staying at home to work, at a computer or just stuck at home. NEAT is also when you just get up once an hour and take a few steps, take a lap, stand up, and really amazing studies going on about the benefits of just at least standing up and being weight bearing once an hour. So I'm glad you brought that to everyone's attention.
So that would probably be why my watch, when I wear my watch, that tells me to get up. And
yes,
sometimes it's interesting because sometimes it'll tell me to just do like some body bends or some stretches.
Yep.
Sometimes it says go take a few steps. But any of those things can be helpful once an hour.
Yep, the NIH is doing extended study on this, so even beyond your intentional physical activity that we know of as sustained activity, but trying to be active at least 10 to 16 hours of your waking days, or waking hours of the day, because sitting is killing more people than smoking, and so even just that little bit.
Gotta get the Michael Scott quote there. I think there's a Michael Scott quote.
Yeah, sedimentary.
And I want to do this chair yoga with you tomorrow when you guide me through my shoulder PT as well.
All right. So that was Kelly Becker, everybody, board certified family nurse practitioner and expert in bariatric and metabolic medicine. So
We have a comment, not a question.
Okay.
Kim Prackins.
Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Yes.
She was making masks and lost track of time.
Hey, that is certainly a worthy cause. And the beauty of this stuff is you can always go back and find these videos on our COPD Navigator page on Facebook. You can go to our COPD Navigator channel on YouTube. Just searching for COPD Navigator. Always just search for COPD Navigator and look for the lighthouse that you will see. I don't know where I'm pointing at right now, but that little glowy lighthouse logo in the corner of the screen there. And that'll steer you in the right direction. Huh? Yes? Huh?
What? Oh, lighthouse.
The lighthouse steering you in the
Lighthouse.
right direction. It's a tough crowd here
Are
on
you
a
a
Friday,
boat?
ladies and gentlemen.
Happy Friday, baby.
All right, so we're going to back up here because we don't want to restart the chair yoga. We're going to get a little bit... also, welcome, Kim. Thank you for coming in. Kim, Emma, were you at the COPD proclamation a couple of years ago? Were you with us for that one at City Hall?
No,
I went.
Okay.
Tommy went.
Oh, Tom went there. So Kim is the lady who dyed her hair orange and came with us to the... So
she's
a,
really cool.
Yeah, she's a great advocate, and I really appreciate you stopping by today. So, let's see. I will admit this one's going to be a little bit interesting because I didn't really watch much of this. I kind of skimmed through it a little bit to see what the idea was because I wanted to bring a little bit more emotion into it to show that, again, if you're doing aerobic activity, it doesn't have to be on a treadmill or a bicycle or a hand cycle or anything like that. You can still do this stuff in the chair. So this should be interesting. We're going to see what we can do here. So I guess, we're just getting right into it.
Let's just march in place.
Marching in place.
We'll do a little bit of chair aerobics.
This is Jackie Talley from Smart
Marches
Moves.
forward. We go
That's
heel,
true.
heel.
Heel. Oops.
Now you can do this without any arms to make it a little
Like-
easier.
Again, you're well supported by the chair. Ooh,
Just swing your arms.
cannot walk and chew gum at the same time, apparently. But you can do this while you're supported in the chair, and still you're getting that activity.
Bye, Nestor.
Now a little kick. Just kick, kick.
Doing a little Rockettes motion here.
I love the royal
Now
feet
knee
bridge.
lift. You can tap the knee.
That's good.
And I'll tell you from my own personal experience,
Out to the side.
these
One,
so a lot of these movements are also available on other things where you are actually walking in place.
now let's use the
Um,
arms. Out, two,
We've done a lot in our house. We've done a lot of videos with
to the mark.
a lady by the name of Leslie Sansone does a walk away the pound. Does a lot of these kind of motions, and it really does work great. It helped me a lot when I was going through my process. So it doesn't have to be for weight loss, of course, but
And we kick. 1, 2, 3.
You hear that, me?
Knee lift. 1, 2.
I wish Potato was just slightly more in frame because she's being really cute right now.
Just a little bitty arm.
I want to
movement.
keep.
Oh wait, this is wrong.
I keep wanting to just do the one side to keep balance. I guess that's okay. I mean, again, you can kind of adapt some of these things.
This
Joey,
is
you
the
are
original
so
Battle
incredibly
Royale.
off tempo.
All right, now we're just tapping.
Heels,
Oh,
and we're gonna reach up.
Keeping
Right
tempo,
here, reach
baby.
Up. Reach. Let's do 4 more.
I
Fun fact.
don't do band.
3.
I
So-
cannot snap my fingers like she's doing.
Now reach out to the
Don't
side.
need to
Way
do
over
band.
there,
You'll keep
and
tempo.
over there.
I'm just saying you're gonna be better than me, because I haven't practiced this
I'm getting a
for
little too fast,
like
I guess.
10 years.
2. Now reach down. Reach down.
Don't say that like my point is invalid.
Joey,
Picking up
I
something
said
from the
okay.
floor.
Tommy,
Yeah, but
Joey.
4 more. 4. 3. 2.
they say if you are able to talk in full sentences while you're exercising, you're not exercising fast enough. But you shouldn't be huffing and puffing. There's a whole scale, the Borg dyspnea scale, and yes, it is the Borg, that usually goes from either 0 to 10 or 0 to 20, just depending on where you're looking at. And you want to, you can look this up online. And you can find that area of exercise that can be comfortable for you.
Let's add a little push this time. Knee lift, let's push down, 2, 3. Tap out to the side, 1, 2. Now add these arms out, 2, 3.
I love that you're all going at wildly different rates.
I'm going at the same time that she's going.
I am not.
Reaches this side, reach up, 2, 3. Now both arms, up, 2, 3, 4. Now to the side, reach side, 2. And reach down to the floor, 2.
I'm also using the wrong arm.
Now across the body.
You don't know your right from your left, Dad?
2,
I'm just mirroring her instead of doing the...
Me too.
4 more.
I keep doing that in
Apparently
Just
me
Dance.
too.
My brain is like, this is the right one. And then Just Dance is like, no.
I
Gotcha.
hope no one can hear my very crackly, like embarrassingly so shoulder.
No, it makes us all feel normal, honey.
All right. So,
Oh.
I don't know what the last bit of this is. We got
It's
another...
nothing. It's just black for 2 minutes.
Sure is.
That, in fact, does appear to be the case. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Ladder man.
Well,
is
9
always
years ago,
right.
that was editing still in its infancy. But so that is a little bit more of a cardiovascular thing. And what I dang it, what I see, I cannot.
Do it.
I've never been able to snap my fingers.
Oi, oi.
I should have brought my pulse ox. Maybe I'll grab that during the intermission because we had a challenge last time about holding my breath for 60 seconds with a pulse ox on. So somebody write that down. We're going to catch that in a few minutes here. We got any comments coming through? Comments, questions, anything like that?
Jamie agreed with something I said, but no other comments.
What?
Again, making sure you're staying hydrated, making sure that you are performing within the limits of safety and all that kind of stuff. Excuse me. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to kind of cool down again a little bit with some seated Tai Chi.
I cheated.
Again, similar to yoga in the sense that we're doing some stretching.
Sorry.
Jody
It's okay.
Horvath.
Jody Reversky,
Yeah,
old friend of mine from back in the day at Bronson.
she's here.
Welcome, Jody. So we're doing this the seated Tai Chi. I actually took a Tai Chi class way back in the day, even before respiratory school, that I found was really valuable. I know, again, it seems like one of those things that just seems kind of esoteric or what have you, kind of, you know, the old David Carradine kung fu kind of things and that sort of vibe. But it can really be helpful and soothing almost. So we're going to calm down, cool down with a little bit of chair yoga chair Tai Chi, excuse me, after another ad here.
I'll say this was part of my undergrad curriculum as a nursing student at Western Michigan University. Tai Chi was part of our self-care curriculum.
Didn't
in
you have
undergrad.
a minor in holistics?
I could have tested for that specialty certification because we had a lot of that in our curriculum.
Great.
And at the time we were like, how are we going to take care of patients at the bedside? And now, especially with the current pandemic, we understand self-care, baby, self-care.
And let that be a lesson to any RTs who might be watching right now. Sometimes those more obscure classes that don't always have that immediate obvious impact are going to serve you well in the long run. So don't blow off those blow-off classes. So we've got David Dorian Ross here, who I saw had a series of these videos, and they're fairly popular, 30,000 views in 1 year. He seemed to have a pretty good handle on things. He does a couple of different types of exercises, does some that are standing up, some that are seated, all those kinds of things. The other thing I'll point out while it's on the screen here is you can see that with a lot of these different types of exercise, you can get different durations, you can get different intensities. You can really look and tailor a program that you enjoy and that you respond to. And that's really important when you're designing one of these programs. Again, making sure you're working on it with your clinicians and all that stuff. But and again, I'll point out all this stuff is free, or whatever it costs for you to have your internet subscription. This is all on YouTube. This is not any other subscription service. This is just YouTube. All this stuff is free and easily accessible with a basic search. So let's see what David Dorian has for us with some Tai Chi here.
The idea is that whether you're actually in your house, in your living room, you can also take advantage of spaces that are quite close to your home. Like if you have a park nearby, you can just go do Tai Chi there. So this is a
sometimes nice to get out into the
they provided you with a bench.
nature.
That's very nice of them. Wherever you are, if you're out in the park, if you're at home on the couch, if you just want to go outside in the garden and sit down on the wall, that's a good opportunity. So let's get started.
This man has positive vibes.
That's important. I told you. We started with that at the beginning. We got to have that positive intention into the universe.
Just a comfortable position. Scoot yourself a little bit forward towards the edge of your chair would be nice. Hands on
Keep you on the edge of your seat.
Flat on the floor.
Happy Friday!
Well, floating up in the air.
It's Friday.
But don't strain it. Don't try to sit up in the military posture. Just
There's no
breathe
meeting.
and relax.
All right, let's work real hard on trying to relax here.
Sort of open up the heart. Helps me open up the breath. And definitely open up and empty out the mind, because you don't actually need to think of anything today. You don't need to
Very intentional movements are kind of the key to Tai Chi. It's not just flopping around. It's controlled, smooth activity.
That's all I need to do. Right now, my arms are just floating up and down, just getting a little movement into the body. Inhale, you see, and that'll help you rise. Exhale, and that'll let you fall down. You can even bring your hands back to your lap if you like, in between each one. Breathe in and rise like the wings of a bird. Breathe out and sink down. Beautiful. Now next time, as the arms rise up, you're going to round out right in front of the body here, like a big hug, and then palms turn down and press down back to your knees again.
Again, very controlled, like you're actually minding pushing something down.
Round out again.
Imagine a little bit of resistance there that you're just trying to sink into.
The chi. It goes along with the breath. Inhaling to rise up. Gather in. Exhaling to sink down. Now slide the hands off of your knees going forward. Rise up in front of the body. Not too high, just about chest high. The elbows sink and fall.
There are a lot of pulmonary rehab programs and other clinical activities that do these kinds of exercises under the name kind of complementary and alternative medicine, because these are the kind of things that are difficult to study in a clinical trial. But when they are studied, they do tend to have some, at least subjective improvement.
Now the hands reach out in front, rise up, and round out once again like the big hug. Inhale and open. This hand on top. Gather in a big rounded shape.
Kelly Becker says, I like this dude. He's no COPD dude, but he is cool. With the sunglasses emoji.
Yes, I did not get my usual introduction of myself as the COPD dude.
My bad.
Instead, you got ladder. That's me.
You guys are helping Potato be very chill.
And then the
Somebody
opening here is
posted
the
something
yaw.
controversial in Break Room because
The
two
same
different
way.
people reported a comment.
And then embracing
That's
the
why I'm
rise.
not worried about that anymore.
One more time each side.
Sometimes you just have to let the negative energy go and put those
Exhale.
positive intentions out there.
And gather. And then the arms open out
Practice
again.
what we preach, right?
Drift back together.
Love it.
Get rid of those energy vampires and
And float down to
the
your
bad news bears and everything else
slide
that's out
off.
there.
Energy vampires.
Now let your hands dangle down by your sides and open up the palms. Turn the palms out. And as you open up the palms, the heart opens also. And then release. The palms turn backwards. Once again, inhaling, open. Open up the shoulders, open up the chest and the heart, and then release. So you're gonna get the heart all open, ready for some connections there.
You got a care emoji.
Inhale, open.
I believe that's our first ever care emoji on COPD Navigator House Call.
Well, that's a new thing. So that makes sense.
I
It's a
sent
care
a
emoji.
care emoji to Miss Jeannie when she was celebrating the chips.
Facebook has a new reaction, and it's a little guy holding a heart.
Bring down my shoulders and bring the head back. Right? Going the other way, the head turns, the shoulders turn. Slide on my rear end a little bit to look all the way behind, and then coming back in opposite order, hips, and then shoulders, and then head. And we're going to add that to the opening of the heart here. So as I turn my head, the heart opens, the palms turn out, keep on going, and the shoulders, keep on going, opening the shoulders back as I turn my hips, and then as I come back,
What's happening?
let the arms and the chest and the heart relax.
Adjusting to
Now the
different
breath helps
technology.
you.
We're
As I turn
used
this
to.
way,
I keep trying to-
inhale, open, turn the head, turn the shoulders, still breathing in, all the way around,
Now Jess is
and
confused.
then breathing out as I come back. Call this the wise owl. Looks behind. Inhale.
I seem to have gotten myself out of sync.
Exhale. You don't have to hold the breath anywhere, by the way. If you need to take 2 breaths to my 1 or 1.5 breaths, you just breathe naturally.
Isn't it nice to see the boys chilling?
Because if you
They're
go one
vibing.
way and I
They're
go another,
You're vibing.
This is
I
good.
don't care. All right, let's go back
Joey's
to the
vibing in
sinking the teeth.
spectacular
Arms
pants.
float in.
Yeah. I
Arms
lost
turn
these
down.
for like 2 years.
All the
And
way
now
Yeah.
they're back.
We had to have Dad shift about 6 inches because
Now,
Joey was
slide
just
hands
the
over to
head.
the side.
I feel like dwarf.
Swing out. to the side.
I believe they actually used some of these techniques in developing the Makbarat choreography.
Yeah, I definitely just refer to it as Klingon Tai Chi, so
Mahra.
I reach
Big
out
heart.
and up. And lift back just a little bit. And then
Colleen
Now we're making a sick
Kropinski
dunk
is
right
here.
now.
brushing
Hi,
across.
Colleen.
Air
Welcome
Jordan.
in.
Shifting over and then lifting up.
There's a couple of people earlier on.
Tossing
And
the
one more sick dunk.
Welcome everybody else who's joining our chair Tai Chi
traditional
exercise
Qigong
time here.
exercise called the
It's just
18
slow-mo
move.
thriller. Ringing in May, wrapping up another Social from a Distance week
Once again,
with Fitness Friday.
What?
reach out for it.
I think we should see Joey and Tommy go head to head in Just Dance.
That is not going to happen.
And one more sick dunk.
Across the body. Inhale and up. And then coming back to center, let your hands come back to your knees. Let them rest for a moment. And then sink the chi.
Sick dunks. Stop saying sick dunks. I'm never gonna stop saying sick dunks.
Let's try and relax a little bit as we start getting
Rise
toward
up
the
and
end of
front,
our
round out like a
cycle here.
Inhale and open. Then with this hand on top, scoop under to catch that moon again. Then sliding one hand under the arm.
This is
toss it
definitely a
away.
motion they used in Star Trek.
Oh, absolutely.
Good. Roll it on back. Toss it away. The actual name of the movement is to tame or style the wild hair, like my wild hair, on the mane of the horse. Right? So I can feel each hair of the horse's mane. Right. Soaked up.
Jamie says if this were just a dance, I'm deciding if Joey or Tommy is the winner.
Now, this hand on top, catch the moon.
And not Dad.
Get roasted.
Sliding from under the
Gotcha.
arm all the way
Boom,
down.
roasted. Gotcha.
And then reaching, gathering. Now, some of you have already started doing this, but noticing that you have an opportunity to sway back and forth from cheek to cheek here, shifting my weight from one side
Cheek to cheek.
to the other side. Just like if you were standing up.
Apparently, Tai Chi does involve a certain level of
All you
maturity.
do is shift the
We
weight
call them Tai Cheeks.
Yes. Not always accessible to those darn millennials.
one more time.
Not a fan of Tai Cheeks, Dad.
Slide it just like you could feel every hair on the horse's back.
Most powerful nurse practitioner order I have made all week is a laugh a day.
Big jellyfish. Okay, Joe.
A nice,
And one last
ugly face laugh.
Thick laugh.
Tai Chi.
Don't smile, you'll crack your face.
and thank you for joining me in that short seated Tai Chi workout.
So, again, 10 minutes of that, about 5 minutes of aerobic activity, and another 10 minutes of yoga. You've got yourself a nice 25-minute workout. And yes, it is a workout. It is activity. It is exercise. It's all those fun things. And it's good stuff. What's up?
Our
Oh.
cousin is laughing at us.
Jamie just
Oh.
laughed.
So, we're going to switch back to our routine configuration, and we're going to wrap up the week and send everybody else on a good note. I'd like to particularly thank my colleagues, partners in crime, and my sons, Thomas
Ladderman.
and Ladderman Joseph.
No, Joseph, just Ladderman.
And the very relaxed potato.
Very relaxed potato on her poof.
A take.
So, yes, everybody.
Oh
This
my
is
gosh.
Potato
Everybody
also vibing
raise your
quite
cats.
nicely. Can we say hello, Potato? There we go.
Sometimes featured on the Potato Cast.
She's
There
a
we go.
drama queen. She
Uh,
screamed earlier.
So
Put
give
her
us
back.
Should
about
be
2
fine.
minutes and we'll be right back.
That's the interstitial one, right?
Yes.
Oh, whoops.
said before we hit the break there, this is a really easy. This is a really easy activity that you can do in a half hour, including the setup time. You can save these things to a playlist so that you can refer back to them if you find some that you really like. You can have a couple of playlists. You can have, like we have on our COPD Navigator YouTube page, we've got a couple of pulmonary rehab ideas. We've got some other stuff that's going on. You know, again, you can do these things that help you continue to stay active while you're staying at home and don't necessarily have access to your usual stuff. Again, want to say a big thank you to Thomas and Joseph. Also a special thank you to my guest co-host today, Emma, who looks like I'm going to need it's going to be time for another maybe Holo Taco Tuesday this coming week. So look for maybe a poll, see what color's going on my nails this week.
You should take advantage of their sale and get some new top coat.
Oh, do we need some more nail polish, do we?
We need some more top coat.
Need some more top coat, I'm told. So,
I want to
breaking news, COPD Navigator currently out of Holo Taco top coat. So we will continue to update this breaking situation as
Not
more
sponsored.
facts become available.
I want a poll of a color for you and a color for me because I want to get in on it on Tuesday.
Okay, so you heard it here first. First programming note for next week, the first full week of May. Holo Taco Tuesday is going to be a double feature with COPD Navigator, COPD Dude, Mike Hess, and Mama Bird of the Best Nest. We're going to have to come up with a cool nickname for her, Kelly Becker. So we're going to have some polls coming up. We're going to look at what other kind of activities we can do for next Fitness Friday. Wednesday, I haven't come up with a cool hashtag for this, but Wednesday we'll be doing some more harmonica stuff, so make sure you're sending in some requests of songs you might like to play, songs you might like to hear. We've got Jeannie, I think it was Jeannie with the new COPD kit, the harmonica kit. So be on the lookout for a lot of that stuff. And let me know what else you want to see. You know, again, this is your time here. We're trying to get you the information that you need. Most importantly, we're trying to get that interaction. We're trying to stay social from a distance, and we're trying to get that engagement so that we can get these messages out to as many people who need to hear them as possible. So please, please, please like, share, and subscribe all of our stuff on YouTube and on Facebook. Let me know what you would like to see so that you would be enticed to like, share, and subscribe. A couple of additional special shout outs to Chowder, still in the ICU, still having a bit of a rough time up in the Grand Rapids area. And I believe Pam's still struggling a bit over in Wisconsin. Fortunately, whether these are coronavirus related is still a little bit unclear. They have some things on that, but again, special shout outs to those two in particular, and anybody else going through a rough time right now. Please remember that our Facebook group is always here for you. We have a fantastic community of people who are willing to share their time, their experiences, and their expertise, both in the clinical setting and on the other side of the stethoscope, so that you can not be alone on your journey, frankly. So
we love you.
Absolutely love all of the folks in our COPD community. So, we got to go back to... all right, so speaking of Jeannie, very calming, and the kids were fun too, so kudos to the boys out there.
We're delights.
Maria says this is a workout I can do every day. I think I like the Tai Chi. Absolutely. Again, these are things that are easy to do, and if you do it for a week or 2 weeks and you get bored, find somebody else. Find a different vibe. Find a different instructor. Find different intensity. And again, a lot of these things can be adaptable. If you see... yeah, that happens sometimes. Been getting out a lot lately, but that's all right. We caught up with all the questions on that already, so now we're just back to normal. If you come across a workout and they call for hand weights, use some soup cans. Use a couple of water bottles. Use anything that you can to give yourself some of that extra resistance if it's appropriate.
Anything you soup can.
So, with all that said, I really hope everybody enjoyed today's show. I had a blast. I think the boys did too. I know Emma and Kelly had some fun watching from the side gallery here. This promises to be a nice weekend. It is finally sunny outside, which is bad for glare on the TV, of course, when we're doing that, but good for activity. So we are getting ready to chalk up the driveway for some Foursquare. and I think we're going to have a good weekend. So, again, everybody out there in Navigator Nation, hope you have a great weekend. Hope you are staying strong, staying safe, and staying home. And I hope you are, as always, breathing lightly. So until Monday, my name is Mike Hess, the COPD dude, and I will see you next week. Take care, everybody.
See you on Monday.